Thank you and good morning, chairs and members. My name is Lori Cox. I live at Roots Return Heritage Farm in Carver County. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity today to testify in opposition to Representative Jacobs' House File 363. The bill was heard in the House Ag Committee Monday as information only, as was discussed here. And when Representative Hansen asked Program Manager Brad, are there tax reductions in other states providing that water quality, Brad had answered no. My farm was certified in 2016, and I joined the advisory board afterwards. I rent my land and fruit crops to new and beginning food farmers. I utilize continual cover crops on highly erodible soils near the Minnesota River Wildlife Refuge. I live in a vulnerable groundwater area. I only till ground when planting annuals, otherwise I no-till my cover crop seeds. No synthetic nitrogen, no pesticide class chemicals, and drip irrigation is used for water efficiency. I just outlined several practices that actually provide air, soil, and water quality. The taxes I pay on 2 ag parcels enjoy the lowest tax burden in our state, along with the additional tax deferment programs. I myself am enrolled in Green Acres and also homestead both non-contiguous parcels to fall under that homestead reduction. Representative Jacobs' bill proposing this tax credit is misguided. Proposing a tax credit will not provide clean water outcomes, nor has the years of this program's existence. Not one state agency claims that this program provides water quality improvements from ag pollution impairments. And in fact, ag shows up increasingly in impaired surface waters and groundwater, which MDA itself reports. I served 6 years on this advisory program board, but was the only member not renewed for service this fall. Everyone should know that there are no actual measurements this program has to claim improved water quality outcomes. If you place a rubber membrane underneath and walls around an ag parcel emitting pollution, you will improve water quality. But since that's not realistic, anyone should be able to state with ease how practice A will provide assurance for water quality outcome B. Modeling doesn't explain outcomes achieved, but measurements do. Ag organizations that are supporting this see another offer of taxpayer subsidy with no testing or end results attached. Sounds more like a fleecing for Minnesota taxpayers. Perennial use of synthetic nitrogen, oversupply of manure, neonic-coated seeds, chemical sprays, tillage, drain tile does not assure water quality. All practices are producer choices and are allowed under these certified acres. EPA stepped in last year when our state agencies didn't for high nitrogen in private wells, even where Representative Jacobs' district lies. Per the last ag census, the majority of acres in Minnesota still do not implement conservation practices. MPCA, which is home to Clean Water Council, states that if all BMP's best management practices were followed on all ag acres, we still wouldn't have clean water. When I asked MDA to review with our advisory board ag pollution and water quality reports provided by them, MPCA, DNR, MDH to help guide the program's efforts where it's most needed, my request was met with some anger and refusal to review the very data needed to make these program and quantified decisions to say where this program would be most effective. Because of no measuring infield, edge of field, drain tile discharge, hard data of this program's efficacy is missing. No well testing, no surface or groundwater testing, no soil tests. In 2023, when myself and others proposed improvements to Brad and Commissioner Peterson, which included testing and governance requirements, along with increased funding, they just said thanks. My midpoint letter of compliance for this program just came in the mail and no one visited my farm. The program claims to remove ag pollution risks to water quality. They're unsubstantiated. NRCS here in Minnesota says where these recommended practices originate, they state it is next to impossible to make any guarantees to specific water quality outcomes due to a multitude of factors, even on my own farm, I understand. Soil type, depth to bedrock, weather, floods, droughts, climate projections, producer education, producer familiarity with the practice, equipment, drainage, irrigation, consistency of practice, etc. The very program's existence relies on clean water funds, which has already cost taxpayers over $54 million to date. But where is the ROI? Taxpayers also currently pay to clean up and mitigate ag pollution issues through no fault of their own. Clean Water Fund recipients are to follow statute mandates in Chapter 144D.50, Subdivision 4. Expenditures and Accountability, Subpart A reads, a project receiving funding from the Clean Water Fund shall include measurable outcomes as defined in Section 3.303, Subdivision 10, a plan for measuring and evaluating the results, and an assessment of whether the funding celebrates cultural diversity or reaches diverse communities in Minnesota, including reaching low and moderate income households. Your opposition to this bill will help keep conversation honest that degraded water quality from ag sources needs more help than just this program existing. I thank you so much and I'm happy to answer any questions.